Hello everybody! It's Glenda with Fralin and Friends Crafts Plus. And I thought we'd get back to Moses. And trying to get the Israelites out of Egypt. We got one stubborn Pharaoh. He just is not letting up. And just to show you the power that God has shown him as warnings, we'll start here. This isn't a plague, but Moses just demonstrated his power by having Moses throw down his, or Aaron, throw down his staff. The magicians all threw down their staffs, and Aaron's staff ate them all. Aaron is, God speaks to Moses, and Moses tells Aaron what to say, because Moses doesn't talk well to people. And then he turned the Nile into blood, and every container in the land, all into blood, and it smelled. And the fish all died. That's why they're all black laying on the bank, because the fish all died. So what did he do next? Pharaoh just keeps going back and saying no. He'll say yes, and then he'll say no. So he sends frogs. No, not much help there. I think I got those in order, but I'm beginning to wonder. Then he covers the whole of Egypt with gnats. Pharaoh says, okay, just get rid of these ants, or these gnats. Because the gnats are gone? He says no. So then the flies. And this artwork is not to scale, and it's just to tell the story. It's not like everything's going to look, I mean, those are just black splotches of paint, but they tell the story. And so he sent flies. And they were everything, everywhere. I mean, in their food, just like the gnats, just like the frogs, in everything. These were the nicer ones. I mean, can you imagine having flies, a fly swarm or a gnat swarm all around you all the time? It would drive a person insane. You just want to get rid of them. And you can't just get them outside, because there's more outside. They'd just come back in. So, this time, God's getting even more serious. So if you got a weak stomach, I mean, I'm not going to be, but if you don't, if you're overly sensitive to things, this may not be your cup of tea. But it is true, and it's what happened. We are now ready for the 5th plague. Now, God has told, he's given so many chances, as I showed you. So now he's really going to let them know. And he has, pardon my eyes watering here. Okay, the Lord has Moses go, and he has him say to Pharaoh that the Lord of the Hebrews. Why does he always say the Lord of the Hebrews and not the Lord? Well, for one thing, that's how the Egyptians, they separated themselves because they worship idols. So that's why he says the Lord of the Hebrews. He has told Moses to tell Pharaoh that he has to let go and not be going back on his word. That he must let them go by the next day. Well, he must not stop them. At any point that he stops them from leaving, God is going to let go of these plagues over all livestock of any kind in Egypt. But the sheep and any of the livestock of the Israelites will be fine. This is God drawing a line. He's saying this will happen to you. You'll lose all your livestock. My people won't. What happens with Pharaoh? God tells him, like in the morning, Moses and Aaron, they go and they tell the Pharaoh. By the next day, he has not made any effort to let them go. Not only that, he has said, no, you aren't going anywhere. So, God is a God of his word. Pharaoh would probably say, I am your God to the Egyptians if they would recognize him and his power. Their gods certainly aren't changing anything because they aren't real. Okay, finally ready to paint here. I've had to speed this way up in order for me to be able to get it in within the time limit here or not make it real long. So I am trying to make this a light blue for the sky. I don't get it quite as light as I want, but it's okay. It's light enough. And I want a light source, so I'm putting a little bit of yellow in on the one side so that it's a little bit more of a light source there. So, but we are preparing here for what is going to be one of the most I want to say. Well, it's a plague of it's a deadly plague for the animals and could be for some people, I suppose, too. Not directly, but indirectly. Okay, what I just painted down there in those little blue streaks, that's in the land of Goshen. That's where the Israelites are living. They live in the land of Goshen. And the land of Goshen is a delta. It's got a river delta on the Nile that feeds right into the Mediterranean because the Nile flows north, as we've said many times. But it's also it's a very good grassland for grazing of the sheep. When the first Pharaoh that the Hebrews were involved with gave them the land of Goshen, he liked them because Joseph, he was right there. I'm putting that's on the Egyptian side. I'm trying to put some kind of plant in there. They did the Egyptians. They did irrigate. They were one of the most advanced civilizations of the time, and they did irrigate. And so I'm putting some water in there. I make kind of a mess of this, but it's all story. It's all about the story. But yeah, I'm putting that green line to. I don't know why I thought I had to get the green line between the. I guess it's a horizon. We'll just call it the horizon. But the Egyptians are in the land of, in the lower part here, where it's their animals are grazing, and this is their livestock, and they've got cattle, and they've got camels, and they've got horses and donkeys and sheep, and that was an attempt at a camel that didn't really work out. But if I took more time, like if I took more time to do these, they'd probably look better, but it would take forever to tell the story. So, but I read off a list of the animals that God told Moses he would put to death on the Egyptians' side, and that is the horses, donkeys, cattle, sheep, goats, camels, whatever they had, donkeys. And so this is what happens. Now I'm putting some sheep over here in the land of Goshen, where the Hebrews are. And I just paint all the sheep white. They're just nice, fluffy white sheep. I was going to use my little GoPro to get the closer and set it in front of me, but it's I don't know, it's not acting right, and I'm trying to figure out why. So now we have sheep and goats and all of that on the Egyptian side, and we also have the sheep and stuff on the Hebrews side. Now, yes, there's places to live there too, but this is just to show that these are the animals. And if you consider all the different kinds of animals that the Egyptians had, they were pretty darn rich in animals and in grain and all of that stuff. And I'm trying to prime that that paint pen. It's a little hard sometimes. So here we go with these animals dead. Dead, dead, dead. And dead. All of them on the Egyptian side are now dead. I've tried to put red X's on them, but so what happens is the next morning, or yeah, Pharaoh sees this, and he says, I want to know for sure if this really happened the way he said it would. And they go to the land of Goshen, where the Hebrews are, and they find all of the Hebrews' livestock is alive and well. So that pretty much tells the story of the fifth plague. Maybe I'll draw these out on paper one of these days and just instead of trying to paint them so that they look a little better. But this is the fifth plague. That is it for today. I hope that, I mean, I'm not the best artist, but I hope I do get the message across. This one I didn't put any people in because this was about the livestock. And the fact that the plague came upon the livestock of only the Egyptians. So, yeah, my little green lines there, that's what they're for. They're to show the difference. So I will see you again tomorrow. Well, I will talk to you again tomorrow. I love you.